I'm lying here in the highly technical environment of an MRI scanner. It's all rather clinical around me, a lot of wires, a lot of white, some beeping lights. So I have to say I am more than happy to have an excuse to imagine myself back in ancient Greece, almost exactly 2,500 years ago. Because somewhere between the visceral, sweaty rush of the ancient sanctuary of Olympia and the sweet Mediterranean waters around southern Italy, the Theban poet Pindar composed his Olympian Ode 10, and in it he gives history a word. Idea, idea.
And I praised the lovely son of Archestratus, whom I saw at that time beside the Olympic altar, winning victory with the valour of his hands, beautiful in form.
Idea te kalon, beautiful in form. Now, that is the first extant example we have of the word idea in the written record, set down around 474 BC. And the reason I'm in this scanner now is that Professor Farhana Varga Khadem has promised to show me what an idea looks like.
So, Bettany, what we want you to do is to listen to some words. These are simple nouns that will come through the headphone. And each time that you hear a noun, we want you to think of and say a verb that goes with that noun.
Okay, that sounds very simple. And can I just ask you why you're asking me to do this?
Because every time that you generate a verb, it's an idea that's being expressed. So we will be looking at changes in blood flow that will happen every time you generate a new verb.
That's rather brilliant that you're now able to see an idea, because actually the word idea originally meant a thing that was seen. So 2,500 years on, we've come full cycle.
That's right. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Soap. Lava. Breakfast.
The word idea comes from the Greek verb idein, to have seen. So, starting with the earliest examples in ancient Greek of word ideas, and travelling both forwards and backwards through time, in these programmes I want to seek out the hard evidence of where ideas were born, how they've shaped history and how history has shaped them. It's a very physical search, if you like, an archaeology of philosophy. And we're starting inside my head, with the birth of an idea.
Map. Circumnavigate.
Farhana Varga Khadem, a neuroscientist from University College London, explains how scientists like her can physically track brain activity.
You really are looking at changes in molecules, chemical interactions that are taking place inside the brain, and it recruits different parts of the brain.
So is it right then that an idea is never one thing, it's never in one place?
That's correct. An idea is generated by a network. You need memory, you also need speech and language. Thoughts are fleeting, so the only way that we can capture our own thoughts is if we either talked about them, wrote them down, or signed them into physical reality. The expression of ideas make us human.
Around 400,000 years ago, our distant ancestors genetically mutated, specifically, it seems, in order to communicate ideas with one another. And this is key. Other primates are capable of complex thought. The difference when it comes to Homo sapiens is that we can imagine the consequence of communicating ideas. We recognise that thoughts only have teeth when they're shared within a human network. Now, when ideas are allowed to be true to their physiological nature, to move and mutate, history itself shifts. A stellar example is the development of Greek culture around the 5th century BC. Thinkers and ideas ebb and flow across the Eastern Mediterranean. Many end up in the newly democratic city of Athens, where visitors and natives alike make ideas their business. One of the homeboy philosophers is Plato, and it's Plato who does something fundamentally transformative with the word idea. Professor Paul Cartledge of Cambridge University.
Plato, his theory of forms, is indeed the very root of his philosophy.